My name's Harley from Australia, also known as Durianrider on the internet.
Okay, so you used to live a very different life before. Can you tell me, like, how did you feel maybe 10 years ago, or if you go back in your life?
I'd say probably 13 years ago. I've been vegan for almost 13 years now, so before that, struggled with my health a lot, struggled with my energy levels, struggled a little bit with the weight, definitely had asthma, digestive issues, a lot of fatigue, a lot of stimulant dependence.
Right.
Didn't have much of a participation in my daily reality.
And can you, like, what was your life like back then?
It was alright. I was working in a gym, working in a shoe store, working as a bicycle messenger.
Okay. And how did these things affect your daily life? Can you give little examples?
One day I'd have good energy,
Uh-huh.
because I had like a lot of coffee, but then the next day I'd be like crashed. So this is like a physical and emotional roller coaster. I wouldn't know what was going to happen that day energy-wise. So yeah.
What couldn't you do, or how did you?
I couldn't be consistent. Like my mood wasn't consistent. Like if you ask me now, Harley, let's go and do a 400-kilometer bike ride next Thursday or tomorrow, I'm like, yeah, I can do that, and it'll be fine. But
Okay.
back then I'd be like, there's no way I could do that sort of thing. So,
And how did you compare to your friends?
how did I compare to my friends? What do you mean?
Yeah, energy-wise.
Pretty much the same. We're on the same sort of diet, doing lots of drugs and stuff like that. So everyone's pretty much the same
Okay.
back then.
And what about the weight? How much did you weigh?
I weighed about probably 75 kilos, so about 10 kilos more than what I am now. Which, as a cyclist, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah. So today you're a cyclist.
Yeah, I was back then as well. I wanted to be more as well of a cyclist, but when you got extra weight, you know, you're limited.
Right. And the asthma, when did that come?
That's another important thing with cycling, running is I've had asthma basically all my life as a child, from probably 8 years onwards to 13 years ago, where I'd always have to carry a little asthma puffer in case I had an asthma attack.
Right.
Now I don't have to carry the puffer anymore. So, yeah.
Did you take any other medication or anything?
Took a lot of like antacids for indigestion, antibiotics, penicillin, things like that.
Okay. And what would your diet look like on a regular day?
So now,
Well, back then.
back then, just milk and cereal and toast and butter and a bit of ham and chicken and vegetables for lunch, and maybe steak and mashed potato for dinner, followed by some dairy or ice cream.
And did you smoke or anything?
I smoked a little bit back in the day. Took a lot of recreational drugs like speed and a little bit of cocaine and LSD and Ecstasy, things like that, magic mushrooms. Smoked a bit of weed. So yeah.
And how about alcohol?
Yeah, alcohol. Enjoyed the beer of the lads,
Right.
but I haven't drunk since July 2001 now.
Wow. And what was the turning point in your life?
I got stabbed in 1999 at a party, and
Right.
that sort of made me think, who I'm hanging around now probably isn't who I want to hang around in the future, because I'm not going in the right direction. So getting my teeth smashed in and getting into fights and then getting stabbed and getting arrested. The universe has sort of given me some little subtle messages over the years. And when I got stabbed, I was like, all right, I'm going to get more into cycling and fitness. And then I eventually sort of got a bit of burnout and was just really fatigued. And that's where I started thinking, well, my diet, I'm eating healthy, but can I eat healthier? So then I started tweaking my diet, and that's led to where I am today.
So what did you do diet-wise? How?
I went vegan,
Right.
and next day, riding the bike just sort of felt lighter because I was off the dairy. I could breathe better, my digestion was a lot better. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I told my friend at the time, he said, it doesn't matter how you feel, just doesn't matter, food's got nothing to do with how you feel. And I'm like, well, it does, man, because I feel heaps better, and just went from there.
And then what? Like a year later, what would you be eating?
A year later,
Pretty
much the same as what I'm eating now. Fruit for breakfast and lunch, and maybe some rice and vegetables or potatoes for dinner, or maybe fruit for dinner as well.
Right. And what kind of fruits could it be?
I just said I had about 3 kilos of mangoes. These nice mangoes here in Thailand. Bananas, I like to eat a lot of bananas. I like the juicy fruits, I like the sweet fruits, so bananas, the mangoes, the dates blended with water, whatever's sweet and going at the moment, it's tasty, I'll eat it.
And when you're back home, what would you normally eat for dinner today?
Back in Australia, fruit can be, fruit's the most expensive in the world in Australia, which is fine for me now because I can earn enough money, but the flavour is sometimes hard to get. So for dinner in Australia, probably maybe rice or organic potatoes as much as I want, like a massive bowl, big bowl, a bowl that most people will think, wow, that's a lot of food. Is that just for one person? Yeah, it is. So some sort of starchy carbohydrate for dinner, if otherwise not fruit.
And how many years have you done this diet?
I've been eating this way since April 2001. Pretty much having fruit for breakfast and lunch almost every day since then, and a lot of times having fruit for dinner. Did like about 5 years on the all raw food lifestyle.
And how do you feel today?
Feel fantastic. Feel incredible. Went for a ride this morning up the mountain. Yesterday went up the highest mountain in Thailand on the bicycle. It's called the Durianrider. We did a 220 kilometre bike ride yesterday. I'm feeling pretty relaxed now. I've got to admit, it's had a Thai massage, but the mountain is one of the hardest mountains in the world to cycle up. And we did that yesterday, and it was a hot day as well.
So your energy levels are just totally different.
No caffeine. Didn't use any caffeine yesterday.
No, and no drugs, no alcohol.
No drugs, no alcohol.
Anymore.
No EPO. No blood doping. So yeah.
Awesome. And what achievements have you done after you changed this diet? Like, what competitions have you taken part in? What results have you gotten?
Well, first of all, I got my health back. I got my lifestyle. I'm living my dream now. I'm living my dream. Athletically, performance-wise, I ran my first marathon. I ran a sub 3-hour marathon. Just a few months ago, January 2014, I rode 6,545 kilometres in January, just in 1 month.
Wow.
6,545. I've won over 30 running races in 2012 without any drugs. So I perform at a drug-free level. So people might say, oh, Harley, your times aren't that fast. 16:19 for 5,000 meters, not that fast, but this is all drug-free. So if I took drugs, then I could get some really, really good results. But I think when you destroy not destroy your health, but when you impact your health at the advancement of your athletic performance, then maybe professional. But I think the drugs in sport, it's a big problem. It's a big problem, and a lot of people getting health issues later on in life. So I can perform a lot better with drugs, definitely.
And how's your asthma today?
Yes, non-existent.
And your weight?
Always good. I look like Chris Froome from the Tour de France. People are always like, wow, you look like you do a lot of miles. I'm like, yeah, in January I do, but the rest of the year it's pretty casual. This is the best way for weight loss. If you want to get slimmer, eat this way.
Okay. And
if you want to stay slim and not have to starve, eat this way.
And do you have a good advice for people who are ill or have some of the issues that you used to deal with? What should they do?
I would say what helped me the most was making sure I start every day with 1 litre of water, drinking that at room temperature before I have anything else to eat. Have an early breakfast, have a nice lunch, and have a lighter dinner. I try and eat 10 grams of carbs per kilo body weight per day. So for me, it's 65 kilos roundabouts. That's approximately 650 grams of carbs. What does that look like? It's about 32 large bananas, or about a kilo bag of dates, or a kilo packet of pasta or rice or polenta. I'd say drink enough water so your urine is always clear, at least every 2 hours or 3 hours. That might be annoying for some people, but that's what's going to take to get you healthier. Get to sleep as early as you can. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, ideally. That's my goal. I don't always get that much sleep, but that's the goal. People say that's too much sleep, means you're ill. No. In nature, that's what we did. In nature, there's no light bulb, there's no Facebook, there's no Instagram. You don't sit in bed with your iPhone on Instagram. In nature, the sun goes down, humans are out. And we would just evolve in the equatorial areas where it's nice and warm. And it's always 6 hours, as the sun comes up at 6, goes down at 6 approximately. So there's 12 hours of just rest every day. The birds go down, everyone goes down to get the rest up. So you need more rest if you want to be your best.
Right. And one final question is, what about protein?
What about protein? Well, I've cycled close to 280,000 kilometers as a vegan. I don't know how many times around the world that is, but that's like 20 times around Australia. So if people think you can't get enough protein in this diet, I don't know. I'd say, where do the cows and gorillas and horses get their protein? They're not eating steak and eating protein powders. I've got a friend who's on steroids and he eats steak for breakfast, but he still has a protein powder. So I think if I was going to be in danger of protein deficiency, I think it maybe would have happened after 13 years in this lifestyle. Just maybe.
Thank you so much for telling your story.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.